Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? Texas Triple Tapper here. I want to do a quick review on a chef's knife that I just picked up. This is the Kramer by Zwilling. It is an 8-inch chef's knife, and then I have here a Wüsthof Precision, and I'm just going to do a quick comparison. So, without further ado, this is the chef's knife. As you can see, it is beautifully detailed. This is a 100-layer Damascus pattern. It is SG2 steel. Very, very nicely done. Again, this is made in Japan, handmade. The handle is a black-brown linen micarta. It kind of has the look and feel kind of wood, but with the longevity of plastic. And you can see here, it's got kind of a nice big belly here on it. Very, very comfortable in the hand and very well balanced. If I can figure out how to make it balance. I'm not very good at balancing things, but it is very nicely balanced. It has a nice little finishing rivet here. It's got a nice little pattern. This was done again by hand. Full tang handle. The spine is just beautifully crafted. There aren't any sharp edges here along the troil here. The only sharp edge is where it should be. Again, like I said, beautifully crafted. So what I want to do here is just bring in the Wüsthof Precision just as a way to kind of compare. As you can see, the belly is just a little bit bigger on the Kramer here. So what I want to do now is see how this thing actually performs. So got a piece of celery here, and I'm just gonna clean up the edges here, get that out of the way, and just gonna do a quick chop with it. I mean, it's just going through this celery effortlessly. And what's really nice and telling, you can see, I mean, it just makes very short work of the celery. Okay. Now, just for a quick comparison, I'm just going to use the Wüsthof. A little bit more of a biting in than you know, or less biting in, I should say, and a lot of the pieces are still together here. Not so much the case with the Bob Kramer knife. So what we're going to do here, tackle this. I mean, whew, just slices right through it. Get these seeds out of the way here. Okay, so now cut out that kind of inner membrane there. Effortlessly glides through this pepper. And so I want to do the test with the hard outer skin out. I think that's kind of a telling. I mean, it's just effortlessly cutting through. Now let's contrast with the Wüsthof here. Pretty good, but I can feel it just kind of hesitate just a tiny bit on the pepper there. And now let's see how it kind of does a chop here. We'll do it again with the skin side up. Nothing held together. It just cut right through it like nobody's business. So now, same test with the Wüsthof. I'll start at the thicker side. Actually, let me just cut that off. And I kind of felt it drag on there. Not able to go nearly as fast. And as you can see, some of it held together. So I've had the Wusthof knives for, I don't know, a few years now. I've always been a big fan, and you know, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this knife. However, the edge on the Wusthof is just not as sharp as it is with kind of the more Japanese knives. What's nice about this Kramer is that this really is a kind of an East meets West. It has the fit and finish of a Japanese made knife. It also has, of course, the edge. I mean, this thing is just, you know, sharp as a scalpel. It's profiled to 10 degrees on each side, whereas your German knives are, I think, somewhere between 15 to 20, maybe 22 degrees. One of the criticisms of some of the Japanese knife makers was that, you know, it just wouldn't hold up. It wouldn't hold its edge just because of how thin and delicate the blades were. But this one is just beautifully crafted. Very nice spine, not quite as thick as the Wusthof, and this knife is not quite as heavy as the Wusthof, which for me, I don't mind a heavier knife. I'm a pretty big guy. I've got big hands. I can kind of handle it, but some people, you know, may like a lighter knife or maybe a heavier knife. But again, this knife is just beautifully crafted. It is, like I said, razor sharp, cuts through these vegetables. I mean, even with the skin on the bell pepper here, like nothing. So I'm going to do it again here. You know, it just doesn't hesitate at all. So you hear that kind of ka-thunk. That's the knife dragging at the on the skin. Now if I go the other way, you know, still doesn't quite cut all the way through. Good stuff. So as you can see, this knife is very, very functional. Now here comes the downside. This knife is $399 plus tax retail. Now, once you guys have started breathing again, it is, in my opinion, worth every penny. I am not a professional chef by any means, but I do like to dabble, and that was always one of my criticisms of the Wusthof knives. They just weren't as sharp as I'd like them to be. I've sharpened them, I've had them sharpened, but you know, you just can't get that same kind of edge that you can with these Japanese style knives. So in my opinion, worth every penny. Now they do have other knife makers, Japanese knife makers that aren't quite this much, but Bob Kramer is a very well-known master bladesmith, and his work is impeccable, as you can see it from the fit and finish to the functionality. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. Until next time, Texas Triple Tapper, out.